أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة لأهل التقوى واليقين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين بالقاسم محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين روحي وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه الفداء واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد فقد قال الله الحكيم في كتابه الكريم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولقد كتبنا في الزبور من بعد الذكر أن الأرض يرثها عبادي الصالحون. صدق الله العلي العظيم. We are in the month of Ramadan, and it is a great month to form our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to strengthen our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also to strengthen our relationship with Imam Zamana ajjalallahu ta'ala farajah. It is a month in which is Laylatul Qadr, and Laylatul Qadr is تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر. That the angels and ruh come down onto earth in this month with everything, min kulli amr, with every command. In some places it's kulli shay. So now it is the angels and malaika that come down onto earth on to the Imam alayhi salatu wasalam, in the presence of the Imam alayhi salam. So we should be in a strong relationship with our Imam alayhi salam, where we can express our gratitude towards the Imam alayhi salam. What are the benefits of an Imam in the absence? How does the Imam alayhi salam interact with the Shias? Well, first of all, the Imam is in ghaibat, so he's not supposed to have a direct connection with the people, because for his own security, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not giving him the permission to meet, because his life is under in danger, so because a lot of the people want to kill the Imam alayhi salam and his life, and he is in ghaibat because of his life security. So he cannot come into the direct connection, just like Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, Hazrat Musa, Hazrat Yusuf. Hazrat Yusuf was in ghaibat, away from his family. So the family, because his brothers wanted to take his life, and later on they repented, but he could not form even connection with his father, who he knew loved him very much. Likewise, the Imam alayhi salam is in ghaibat. So in ghaibat we don't have direct connection. So how are we connected, and how does he interact? Does he have family? Does he, so there are all of these questions that we may need to probably answer. Now, in the ghaibat of Imam Zamana ajjalallahu ta'ala farajah, there are a number of things that we can do to form our connection with the Imam alayhi salam better. And amongst those things is to pray for his long life, to show that we love him, we want him protected. Secondly, we should give sadaqah. Any of these things obviously are just expressing our love. He doesn't need anything from us. We should give sadaqah in his name. When we take out our sadaqah, so we first say we're giving this sadaqah for the Imam alayhi salam, but we are not giving it to the Imam alayhi salam, we're giving it to the deserving people, just to show that we love him so much that we help poor people in his name as well. So there are many things we can do, and the dua for his safety, these are, obviously Allah is going to protect him anyway, but these are all our means of showing our love and expressing and becoming connected to the Imam, because we are body, and we are human beings that need connection to physical connection, or seeing, sight, hearing, to be able to notice someone. But we need to build that. So how does the Imam al-Islam interact? Imam al-Islam in Nahj al-Balagha says that There are certain things that the followers have to do for the Imam, and there are certain things that the Imam does for the followers. The people have to pay allegiance to the Imam and remain in the allegiance of the Imam. So they must not break the allegiance, meaning they must not um, form ties with the enemies of the Imam Islam, rebel against the Imam. So they need to basically be in the allegiance and say, we are loyal to you. Secondly, they need to obey the Imam Islam. So he says, pray, then he says, don't do this, don't do that, do this. So basically, to have a connection is, first be loyal to him. Secondly, to be obedient to him. Loyalty is bai'at. Then secondly, ita'at. These two terms, remember that. Third is to love them. So sometimes the love does not just happen, and you need to know someone to love them. And we should know the Ahlul Bayt so much so that we love them. When you hear about the Holy Prophet ﷺ, then you love him. When you don't know anything about him, a child only knows, but then slowly when he hears this is what he did, the stories, that's how you connect. So the love is very important between us and the Imam al-Islam. So you hear the stories and you see how merciful he is, and likewise Imam Ali alayhi salam, Hazrat Fatima Zahra, Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain alayhi salam, what they went through, the difficulties. Likewise the 12th Imam alayhi salam, look at all the things that he's going through. He's lonely, and he loves you, he cares about you. So we should also love him. That's from our end. What about the Imam alayhi salam? In Nahj Balagha, Imam alayhi salam says that then these are my 3 rights on you, that you do these things for me, and you also have rights. What are our rights on the Imam alayhi salam? So today Imam alayhi salam, when we obey him, then he needs to guide us. Imam alayhi salam says that the first thing he does is he guides you. A lot of the people say, oh, how can he guide us? He's in occultation, you can't see him, so. And they always say, well, I didn't do this. Shaitan misguided me. He misled me. So I am now doing this evil because the shaitan was misguiding me. Well, if shaitan can whisper and can you waswasa fi sudurin nas, he can play with your feelings and he can misguide you. And he's only shaitan, and Imam is the representative of Rahman. Then how can Rahman not guide you? How can Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his representative, Imam Zamana, ajtf ta'ala, not guide you? So he can guide you, he will guide you, but you need to form connection with him. So you need to interact. You need to feel that he's there, he's present, he's alive. Become Imam Zamani, meaning call him, talk to him, he listens. So he guides you. Marhum Ayatollah Bahjat was asked by a student, he said, Agha, you tell us that, talk to Imam Zamana. Does he hear us? Does he listen to us when we talk to him? Ayatollah Bahjat said, and it's on YouTube, you can go and search on it. He said, when you ask this question from me, before I hear your question, Imam alayhi salam heard your question. And when I'm answering you, before you hear it, the Imam heard it first. Udhunullahil wa'iyah. The hearing ear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Imam, Hujjat Khuda. So he listens to you, to talk to him. So he guides you. So the first thing is that he guides you, but you need to ask and seek his guidance. And many times we don't. And many times, the interaction of Imam Zamana, he says in Ghaibat, many times you, an example, a parable that you are sitting on a branch and you're cutting it. You do bad for your own selves. And he says that you only protect and save yourselves, not because you did something, because you believe in us and I save you. Many times you do your bad, you do bad for yourself, and he says, I protect you, I save you. So one of the things is that the interaction is that when we form connection, we have to seek guidance, and he guides us. He says, your right upon me, Imam al-Islam says, is that I guide you. So the 12th Imam guides you, in the most difficult of the times, he guides. Secondly, he says the right of the people, followers on the Imam al-Islam is that he helps them. So in difficulties, you need guidance in haram, halal, wajib, many things, I want to make this decision, I need guidance. So he guides and helps. Well, now I know what to do. I need help. Many ulama say that whenever you need the help from the 12th Imam al-Islam, go outside on Friday, for example, and under the open sky in a clean place like in a park or something, have wudu and go and call onto the Imam al-Islam and say, Ya Sahib al-Zaman adrikni, Ya Sahib al-Zaman adrikni, Ya Sahib al-Zaman adrikni. Call onto him. Or Sahib al-Zaman means the master of the time. Or master of the time, adrikni, help me. So he would help you. So our right upon him is that whenever we seek help, he helps. And many times we don't even seek help. Someone helps. It's the Imam alayhi salam. Guidance is from him and help is from him. Third, Imam alayhi salam says in Nahj Balagha that the right of the people who follow the Imam alayhi salam and they don't break, they're loyal to him, they don't break their allegiance to him, it is their right that he does intercession for them, shafa'at. One of the rights of the people is shafa'at. So he will intercede for you on the day of judgment. Even in this dunya. Many times, we go into trials and problems, and, in those trials, the Imam al-Islam does shafa'at. He does shafa'at and he says, okay, Ya Allah, forgive him. He's my follower. So Allah says, yes, I will intercede. He is in trouble. Ya Allah, help him or forgive him. In this world, we get shafa'at. In the grave, we get shafa'at. In the hereafter, on the day of judgment, we get shafa'at of the Imam al-Islam. So it is important that we understand that he interacts. What else does he do? So many times, the Imam al-Islam, if you look at the dua of the Imam al-Islam, the dua of Imam al-Islam is beautiful. And it is very good dua to recite. It has, for every category of people, every group of people, he has prayed in his dua. So look at his dua. This is one of his greatest interactions with his people. So he prays to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Oh Allah, for example, Allahumma arzuqna tawfiq al-ta'ah wa bu'd al-ma'siyah. Oh Allah, give all of us, meaning all of my followers, tawfiq al-ta'ah. The tawfiq is the capacity from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to obey you, tawfiq al-ta'ah, wa bu'd al-ma'siyah, and keep all of them away from disobedience, from sin. Ma'siyat is sin, like disobedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahumma arzuqna tawfiq al-ta'ah wa bu'd al-ma'siyah wa irfan al-hurma. And so that we respect, we understand the sacred things. And oh Allah, give us steadfastness in your obedience. Oh Allah, the ones who are fighting in your way, for example, Daesh has now 2-3 days continuously they've been attacking Balad and Samarra. So there are many people protecting, ulama, mu'mineen. Now they've gone again to protect the harams from Daesh. So, oh Allah, protect all of these people who are fighting in your way. Then he says, oh Allah, all the ones who want Hajj, give them Hajj, and the ones who are on Hajj, return them back to their hometowns healthy and in great spirit. He prays for every category of people. Then he says, oh Allah, all the rich people of my community, that give them so much tawfiq that they help out the poor ones, increase in their sustenance and make them help the poor. The ones who are poor, oh Allah, give them sabr and give them rizq. So even bless them with sustenance. So he prays with every category of people. Oh Allah, make the ulama of my ummah, the learned, bil wa'd wa nasiha, that they admonish the people and they guide the people. وَالْمُتَعَلِّمِينَ بِالْجُهْدِ وَالرَّغَبَةِ, and the ones who are students, the ones who are learning, oh Allah, make them work hard and Make them like their education. Raghba is to be attracted towards education. So for every category, he prays. So his interaction is not, so he knows each and every person by his name, by his ancestry, by who he is, his background, what he is now, what is he doing, what is his potential. One of my teachers used to always say in Qom that Imam is Zamana, one of the signs of the Imam, according to Imam Raza, I've seen this hadith. Imam Raza says that, the sign of the Imam, if he is an Imam, true Imam, then one of his signs is that his knowledge is vast and none of his du'as are rejected. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts every du'a of the Imam alayhi salam. So the du'a of the Imam, his prayer is never rejected. What do we need to make sure? We need to make sure that we are included in the prayers of the Imam alayhi salam. We are mashmool, we are shamil, we are in his du'as. So when he's praying for all of those categories of the mu'mineen, of the believers, of the faithful, then we need to make sure that we are amongst the faithful. We are amongst the people who he is going to be praying. So I am, so I repent, and if I've done anything wrong, I come back. And the best thing is, in Shab Jummah, you come and do Dua Kumail or something like that. And so when the Imam alayhi salam is being presented with our actions, by the angels, or he himself sees, so he has access to see whatever he wants to see. But he may not see, he may not wish to see, and he visits. So then you should be praying in Thursday, Friday, Thursday night and Friday morning when he is presented with all of our actions. You should be praying, you should be doing something good at least. Doing salawat, for example, 100 salawat is a penalty for sins. So repent. Now what else? The Imam does not just sit in one place. He moves. He rotates. He is visiting all the places. So he visits all the holy sites all the time. And he, the earth is shortened for him. He does not travel with a plane or a train or a bus. He doesn't need to. He takes a few steps and he reaches the other place very quickly. From Makkah to Medina, within moments, within seconds, he will be there. From Medina to Najaf, within seconds. From Najaf to Karbala to Mashhad, seconds. So he's on the move, or he's visiting all the holy sites, and obviously wherever his followers are, he will visit those towns and those cities. Are our houses good enough? Have we prepared them? Are they Tahir Park in the States? Are we watching all sorts of good things, bad things, so the Imam al-Islam will like or not like, or will like to visit or will not visit. So in our town, for example, in Husseinian Seattle, when he comes to any part of the world, if he visits, where will he visit? Wherever his Shias are. What part? Most likely the religious centers. So you should have good religious centers, clean, nice, no backbiting, no fighting, quarrels Imam doesn't like. One of the things that he has said in his tawqi, tawqi is anything in his writing or with his signature or something like that. When he sent two things to his naibin, like his deputies. So in Ghaibat al-Sughra, the Imam al-Islam had a deputy, 4 deputies, one after the other. Hazrat Uthman ibn Syed, from 260 Hijrah till 267 Hijrah. And then his son, Muhammad ibn Uthman ibn Syed, who was the longest serving deputy of the Imam from 267 Hijrah till 305 Hijrah. And then Hazrat Hussain ibn Ruh, who was the greatest of all 4, from 305 to 326. And then the last one, Ali ibn Muhammad al-Samiri from Samarra. They're all buried in Baghdad. He was the naib for the shortest duration, from 326 till 329 Hijrah, for 3 years and a few months. So the Imam al-Islam, in one of his tawqi is something in his writing. He said to one of his naibin, tell my Shias, I will be going into a long occultation and I will reappear after a very, very long time. So hundreds of years have now gone, over 1,000 years have gone for the occultation of the Imam alayhi salam. And he said that, I will only come back after when Allah orders me to come back. And during this time, many people will lose faith, many people will die, many people will disbelieve, all sorts of things, many people will fight. Remember, the delay, one of the delays in my, when my shears are not strong enough to look after me, and like he doesn't say it like that, but he says one of the things that will delay in my zuhur, in my reappearance, it will be the disputes of my own community when they are fighting themselves. And sometimes, we cause the fights and we don't realize. So the disputes and fights, and there'll be all sorts of things. And the Imam, 6th Imam says, وَحَلَكَ فِي الْمُسْتَعْجِلُونَ, the people who are hasteful. Why is the Imam not coming? Why is he not coming now? Halaka, they will be destroyed. وَكَذَبَ الْوَقَاتُونَ, and the ones who specify the time will be liars. So don't be extremists. Be, very moderate and light-hearted. It's very important that we are connected. So the Imam al-Islam's interaction is that he comes and visits all of these religious sites, and all of those sites have to be maintained properly. Maintenance is very important. Sometimes you just make the centers and you don't maintain them, keeping them clean and, hygienic, and no disputes, no fights, respectful, be kind and respectful to everyone. You preach in the right way, right mode to the other people. It's very important. So the interaction of the Imam Islam is manifold. One of them is that he has his khums. So the khums is his right. So we are supposed to give him khums, our khums, 20% of our wealth goes to him, but he, half of it is for the Sayyids. And the other half is for the Imam al-Islam. So he can do whatever he like. One of the interactions is that he says, okay, the niyabat is amma. Whoever you think is the most learned or whatever, you think that this is the naib of Imam, you give him my khums. And he has allowed them, wal khumsu mubahun shiyatina. It is mubah, it is permissible to be used for my shias. So one of the interactions is that he has allowed the khums to be used for his own shias, for his followers. You can give and pay and contribute towards the needy shias, the Shia projects, the Shia centers, the Shia charities, the Shia community, people who are in need. So Sayyids have their own portion, and the non-Sayyids also have a portion. That's from Sahm Imam. So the Imam's portion can be used for Sayyids and non-Sayyids alike. So on all charities, on different projects, on the needy Shias, universities, colleges, schools, madrasas, all of these projects. So one of the interactions, the greatest interaction of the Imam alayhi salam with us is he has permitted his khums, his right, to be used in his absence. In the beginning, there were no banks or anything like that. So people used to bury their wealth, this gold and silver. In olden days, they had dirham and dinar, gold coins and silver coins. Dinar is the gold coin, dirham, silver coins. So they used to bury them, their treasure, the gold, silver coins, everything. And in olden days, even the ulama used to say, okay, bury the khums. The Imam will take it out, and use it if he wants and how he wants. Or when he will reappear, then he will take it out. So bury the khums. So then the Imam said, no, the khums is permissible to be used for my shia. So that's one of the greatest interactions that he allowed. He said, don't keep burying it. The people are needy now. That's where so he's given a guideline. The different Imams have, said how to use khums. And those khums were used in different ways by the Imams alayhi salam. And they've given an outline to some of their representatives, especially the 9th and the 10th and the 11th Imam alayhi salam. They gave guidelines how to utilize khums, like to their representatives. And those representatives mentioned it to the people how the Imams alayhi salam ordered them to use the khums. So now the deputies, the Maharaja, for example, the Ayatullahs, or, the representatives, they're supposed to use them for the needs of the Shia community. So whatever they need, that's one of the greatest interactions of the Imam alayhi salam that he has. Now, our ulama believe that if there is a major issue, something new comes up, a major issue happens, and so the ulama are supposed to guide. But if all of the ulama unanimously make a wrong decision, they say, okay, let's do this, X, and they're all wrong, then it is an obligation upon the Imam alayhi salam to guide them, at least one of them, and say, okay, no, this is not right. This is what they should do. So it is upon the Imam alayhi salam that he would guide the people in occultation, in his absence as well. If all the ulama unanimously make a wrong decision, then it is upon the Imam alayhi salam to guide. And if they're all following one person, then if that one person makes a major mistake and he says, okay, do this, and the Imam alayhi salam doesn't agree with it, he would come and tell him and say, okay, no, this is not what I agree with. And it has happened in the past in major occultation, where, for example, Shaykh Saduq, rahmatullah alayhi, one of the greatest scholars, his name was Muhammad ibn Ali ibn Hussein ibn Babi Wahi Qumi. He was originally from Qum. His father is buried in Qum. Ali ibn Hussein ibn Babi Wahi, so Shaykh Saduq's father. And Shaykh Saduq is buried in Rai Shahar in Tehran somewhere. Yes, in what's his name? Shah Abdul Azim Hassani. There. Near his grave, he's buried in, same place, Shaykh Saduq. So Shaykh Saduq, he gave a ruling. Someone came to him and said that, a Shia lady has passed away and she was expecting, she was pregnant, and the baby in her womb is still alive. She has died, but the baby in the womb is alive. And, we are going to bury the lady. So what do we do? Do we take, everyone is asking, do we cut the lady's womb and take the baby out? Or do we bury the baby with the lady, who has died? So Shaykh Saduq said, no, don't open the womb. Just bury the lady with the baby alive. So Shaykh Saduq gave this ruling. Years later, the people came back to Shaykh Saduq, 11 years later, and they said, Shaykh, we have come now to you, and we wanted to discuss with you, and this is the boy, you remember you gave the fatwa, and this is the boy, he has now become 11. He said, excuse me, which boy, what fatwa? He said, remember we came to you to ask about a lady who had died, and she had a baby. So the lady had a baby in the womb. She was expecting, and you told us to cut her open from her right hand side. The womb, we should cut her on the right hand side, take the baby out, and sew her again, and then give her ghusl kafan, and then bury her. He said, no, I didn't say that. I said, bury the lady with the baby alive in her womb. He said, yes, that's what you said when we came to see you. But as soon as we left your house, a very handsome young man came running and he said, the Sheikh says that I've made a mistake. I have changed my view. And the Sheikh is saying that cut the womb from the right hand side and take the baby out and sew her again, and then bury the lady with ghusl and kafan into the grave. And that's what we did, and this is a boy that we took out from the womb of the mother. Sheikh started crying. He said, I didn't say that. And he said, that must have been Imam Zamana, ajjalallahu ta'ala farajah. He must have corrected my mistake, because I would have taken a life. And the Sheikh started crying and he said, okay, please everyone leave. From now onwards, I will not give a fatwa again, because I could have taken this life. I would have taken this life, and the Imam has corrected me. He started crying and he said, please everyone leave. He closed the door of his house and he said, from now onwards, I will not give fatwa. And he cried and he cried and he was crying. He said, Maulana, please forgive me. Oh Allah, forgive me. I would have made such a big mistake, and I will now never ever give fatwa again. And someone knocked on his door. He said I think he had a servant in the house, so he said, tell him that, the Sheikh no longer wishes to meet anyone, and he will no longer see, and he will not give audience to the people. Suddenly, without the servant opening the door, someone walked in through the door and came to the Sheikh and he said, "Oh Sheikh, continue giving fatwas and we will continue to correct you." And he realized this is Imam Zamana. So any major mistakes if that any of the ulama fuqaha ever make, unless obviously they are sinful people or they are not worthy of the Imam alayhi salam correcting them. So there may be people who are very sinful, who claim to be jurists, because there will be many false claims of jurists. The Imam alayhi salam will not correct those people. But if they were true, genuine scholars and they were worthy of the correction from the Imam alayhi salam, then the Imam alayhi salam will come and correct them. That no, this is a major mistake you've made. Minor mistakes he'll not, but any major mistakes they make, that the Imam alayhi salam will correct them. But if they are deputies or if they are worthy of the Imam alayhi salam's correction, because many people are not even worthy, even jurists are not worthy that the Imam comes and corrects them, because they may be sinful. But there are many very highly learned and pure, clean hearts and pure souls of the scholars who may make mistakes, and the Imam alayhi salam will correct them. So today the Imam alayhi salam interacts. There is an ayat in the Holy Quran, فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends ilham, He inspires. Ilham is that He places guidance in your mind and heart. Fujurha taqwa, then a person becomes muttaqi. So what does it mean? So before taqwa, before you become God conscious, there is a place where you have, when you are faithful, that Allah inspires you. He places it in your heart. Okay, do this. So, and the Imam alayhi salam also guides you. So you have to have a strong connection for the Imam alayhi salam to guide you, to correct you. So the interaction of the Imam alayhi salam is manifold, and one of them is correction of his followers. I end here with the prayer that, oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, give us true understanding of the Imam. May we love him, may we obey him, may we have understanding him, and may the Imam alayhi salam likewise may love us and guide us. Oh Allah, help us understand, read the Holy Quran, read it, understand it and follow it. Oh Allah, resurrect us with Quran and Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. Oh Allah, there are many problems going on across the globe. Remove all the problems. The people who have organized these lectures, the people who are listening, the people who are delivering, all the people, oh Allah, increase in their tawfiq, increase in their sustenance, increase in their love for your religion. Oh Allah, make them serve your religion with faith and sincerity. And oh Allah, forgive the sins of all of the people who are participating in these, organizing them, myself and all of us. Oh Allah, forgive us our sins, accept our deeds in the month of Ramadan. Oh Allah, forgive the sins of all of our marhumin, the people who have left this world, all the mu'mineen, all the people who have organized their marhumin. Oh Allah, protect all the people from coronavirus and any of the illnesses. The people who have it, may Allah give them health. And oh Allah, protect our holy sites, especially from Daesh, who are attacking continuously. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم بحق محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد وعجل فعله. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.